Rachel's fitness app suggested she take a pregnancy test. She wasn't trying to get pregnant and had no symptoms. 3 weeks later, the test was positive. The algorithm had detected subtle changes in her exercise patterns, sleep cycles, and heart rate that even she hadn't consciously noticed. Welcome to the age of algorithmic omniscience, where artificial intelligence systems know intimate details about your life, health, relationships, and future that remain hidden from your conscious awareness. These systems are reading patterns in your behavior that reveal secrets you haven't discovered about yourself yet. We're not talking about obvious data collection like search histories or shopping preferences. This is far more profound. AI systems that can detect pregnancy before symptoms appear, predict relationship breakups weeks in advance, and identify health conditions before medical professionals would spot them. Today we're exploring the invisible knowledge gap between what you know about yourself and what algorithms have already figured out. The implications go far beyond privacy. They touch on the fundamental nature of self-knowledge and human consciousness itself. Before we begin, we're examining speculative scenarios based on current AI behavioral analysis research. This content explores potential implications of predictive technology for educational purposes. It's not intended to provide medical, psychological, or life advice. For health concerns or personal guidance, consult qualified professionals. Every day you generate approximately 2.5 quintillion bytes of behavioral data through your digital interactions. But you're only consciously aware of a tiny fraction of the patterns this data reveals about your physical health, mental state, relationships, and future decisions. Target's pregnancy prediction algorithm became famous for identifying expectant mothers before they knew they were pregnant, based solely on changes in purchasing patterns. But modern AI systems are far more sophisticated. They can detect early signs of depression from typing speed variations, predict divorce from social media posting patterns, and identify health risks from smartphone movement data. If this exploration into algorithmic self-knowledge is revealing capabilities you hadn't considered, hit that like button. It helps YouTube understand that content examining how AI systems know us better than we know ourselves deserves wider reach. And if you're curious about the hidden patterns in your own behavior, subscribe to Future Paradox. We're investigating how technology sees deeper into human nature than humans themselves. MIT researchers developed AI that can predict personality traits with 95% accuracy just from smartphone usage patterns. How often you check certain apps, your typing rhythm, even how you hold your device. The algorithm identified introverts, extroverts, and personality disorders with greater accuracy than trained psychologists using traditional assessment methods. But the most unsettling discovery is how AI systems identify patterns that predict major life changes before any conscious decision-making occurs. Studies show algorithms can detect job resignation intentions 6 months before the employee becomes consciously aware they want to quit. Relationship dissolution 3 months before couples recognize serious problems, and financial difficulties weeks before individuals realize they're in trouble. Your digital behavior reveals what psychologists call your behavioral signature. Unconscious patterns that remain consistent even when you think you're acting spontaneously. These signatures expose your vulnerabilities, predict your choices, and reveal aspects of your psychology that you've never consciously examined. Artificial intelligence doesn't just analyze what you consciously choose to share, it reads the metadata of your existence. The slight delay before you send a text message, the apps you open but don't use, the way your typing speed changes when discussing certain topics. All of these micro-behaviors create a psychological profile more accurate than any self-assessment. Stanford's Human-Computer Interaction Lab discovered that AI systems can identify mental health conditions from social media activity with 70% accuracy, not from the content of posts, but from patterns in posting frequency, response times, and engagement behaviors that users never consciously notice about themselves. The technology goes deeper than behavioral analysis. AI systems can now detect early signs of neurological conditions like Parkinson's disease from subtle changes in typing patterns, identify cardiovascular risks from smartphone accelerometer data, and predict cognitive decline from variations in digital task completion times. What makes this particularly profound is that these AI systems are identifying aspects of your identity and future that exist below the threshold of conscious awareness. You might think you know yourself, your preferences, health status, relationship satisfaction, career aspirations, but algorithms are revealing a hidden layer of self-knowledge that was previously inaccessible. Research by Carnegie Mellon's machine learning department shows that AI can predict individual responses to specific situations with 85% accuracy, often outperforming the individuals themselves when asked to predict their own behavior. The algorithms understand your behavioral patterns better than your conscious mind does. The most disturbing aspect isn't that AI knows hidden things about you. It's that this knowledge can be used to influence the very behaviors and outcomes it predicts. When algorithms know you're vulnerable to certain types of persuasion before you recognize that vulnerability yourself, they can exploit it with surgical precision. Dating apps use AI that analyzes your messaging patterns, response times, and engagement behaviors to identify when you're most emotionally available, recently heartbroken, or likely to make impulsive relationship decisions. This data gets used to optimize match suggestions and notification timing for maximum user engagement, not necessarily for your best interests. Financial technology companies employ AI systems that can detect early signs of financial distress from spending patterns, search behaviors, and app usage changes. Instead of offering help, this data is often used to target vulnerable individuals with high-interest loans, investment schemes, or credit products precisely when they're most susceptible to financial manipulation. The predictive capability creates what researchers call algorithmic fate, when AI systems know your future behavioral patterns so accurately that they can engineer circumstances to ensure those predictions come true. Your predicted vulnerabilities become actual vulnerabilities because systems are designed to exploit the patterns they identify. Even more concerning is how this predictive knowledge affects your sense of agency and free will. When algorithms can anticipate your choices with greater accuracy than you can, it raises fundamental questions about the nature of human decision-making and personal autonomy. Corporations aren't just collecting data about your current behavior. They're building comprehensive models of who you are at the deepest psychological level, including aspects of your identity you haven't discovered yet. This identity mining reveals patterns that even close friends and family members don't recognize. AI systems can identify your core values, deep-seated fears, unconscious biases, and hidden motivations from seemingly innocuous digital interactions. They know which emotional triggers will make you angry, sad, or motivated to take action. They understand your psychological vulnerabilities better than you do. The technology can predict how you'll react to different types of content, which political messages will influence your opinions, what personal information you're likely to share under different emotional states, and which social pressures will override your rational decision-making. What's particularly unsettling is that this deep psychological knowledge is being used to design increasingly sophisticated manipulation strategies. AI systems don't just predict your behavior, they're actively shaping your environment to influence the person you become. We're approaching a point where artificial intelligence systems possess more accurate and comprehensive knowledge about human psychology than humans themselves. This creates an unprecedented asymmetry of self-awareness, machines understanding us better than we understand ourselves. The implications extend beyond privacy or manipulation concerns. When external systems know hidden aspects of your personality, health, and future better than you do, it fundamentally changes the nature of self-discovery and personal growth. Why engage in introspection when algorithms can provide more accurate insights about your inner life? Some researchers worry about the emergence of algorithmic dependency syndrome, when people become reliant on AI systems to understand their own emotions, motivations, and life patterns. This dependency could weaken the natural human capacity for self-reflection and autonomous decision-making. The technology also raises questions about the ownership of self-knowledge. If an AI system discovers something important about your health, psychology, or future that you're unaware of, who owns that knowledge? Should you have access to these algorithmic insights about yourself, or would that knowledge be psychologically harmful? The question isn't whether AI systems can know us better than we know ourselves. They already do. The question is what happens to human consciousness and identity when external algorithms possess superior knowledge about our inner lives, hidden patterns, and unconscious motivations. Perhaps the most profound challenge is maintaining a sense of authentic self-knowledge in an environment where artificial systems can predict your thoughts, behaviors, and life outcomes with greater accuracy than your own introspection. How do you remain the author of your own story when other entities understand the plot better than you do? We face a choice between embracing algorithmic insights about ourselves or fighting to preserve the mystery and uncertainty that have traditionally been essential to human growth and self-discovery. But can we choose to remain unknown to ourselves when the technology to know us completely already exists? What do you think? Would you want to know everything that AI systems have figured out about you? Or is there something valuable about the journey of self-discovery that we shouldn't surrender to algorithmic analysis? These questions will only become more pressing as predictive AI becomes more sophisticated. If this made you curious about the hidden patterns in your own digital behavior, subscribe for more investigations into how technology understands human nature. And hit that like button if you believe these questions about self-knowledge and AI deserve deeper examination. Until next time, remember, you might not be as mysterious as you think. What we explored today examines real behavioral analysis technologies, but extends them into speculative scenarios. This content encourages reflection on AI and self-knowledge, not anxiety about privacy or technology. For personal concerns about AI analysis or self-understanding, consult qualified professionals.